Hi class, and welcome to another 5-minute lesson. This lesson is going to be over some different cells in your cell cytology presentation. We're just going to go over the basic functions of these cells and where you can find them. So the first one I want to talk about is macrophages, and these are commonly just known as white blood cells. Now you have a bunch of different types of macrophages. The one that I'm showing you right now is a monocyte, but we also have basophils and neutrophils, which are two other major macrophages. But we're just going to look at monocytes. So basically macrophages are white blood cells, and they're going to be found a lot of times in blood or in your immune system, known as the lymphatic system. And what these guys do is they basically are going to go and engulf any foreign invaders in your bloodstream or trying to get into your body. So bacteria and viruses are just going to be kind of engulfed by these guys, and then they literally use enzymes to break them down and pretty much eat them. Next is adipocytes. These make up adipose tissue, and that's commonly known as fat. So when you look at adipocytes, how you can tell if they're adipocytes are they're going to be really round, clear cells. So especially in these two pictures I'm showing you, you can see they're really, really large, round, and see-through. And the reason they're see-through is because they are just filled with oil. And oil is how your body stores extra energy. So fat does have a purpose. These adipocytes store energy. Unfortunately, with diets and lack of exercise, we can store a little bit too much, if you know what I mean. But really, back in our ancestors' days, adipocytes were really important for storing extra nutrients when they got a huge meal. Adipocytes are commonly found around organs, and they help with insulation and protection. Okay, another example would be if you see like a whale and they have a lot of blubber because they live in the cold environment. That blubber is made entirely of adipocytes to just insulate and keep the whale warm. So we do the same thing as humans. That surrounds organs to help cushion and protect them, and it also acts as an insulative layer actually underneath our skin. Okay, next we have fibroblasts. Fibroblasts make up connective tissue, and connective tissue can be found pretty much all over your body. It covers organs to kind of hold them together. We also find them in like tendons and ligaments that connect muscle to muscle, or muscle to bone and bone to bone. And really what these guys are is they're cells that secrete a lot of proteins, because proteins are what make connective tissue really strong. So these fibroblasts basically are there to just secrete a whole bunch of proteins that actually make up your connective tissue. In a lot of other cells and tissues, we see cells making up a majority of the tissue. Well, fibroblasts actually secrete a lot of proteins that make up your connective tissue. They actually don't make up a huge portion of your connective tissue. Okay, here's another picture of fibroblasts. This is a picture of connective tissue, and I just wanted to show you a different example because the picture I showed you before is dyed really cool and you can really see the cells, but this is what typical connective tissue actually looks like. So all of those really dark dots are nuclei, or the nucleus of those fibroblast cells. All right, next we're going to get into nervous system cells. Now your nervous system actually is composed of two different cells. Neurons are going to be your main cell type, and then we're going to have glial cells, and glial cells are just supporting cells. When you take medical science 2 and you get into the nervous system, you'll learn more about the particular type of cells. We just are going to call them glial cells right now for our purpose. So the nervous system is your brain, your spinal cord, and then all the nerves in your limbs. And the main cell type in this tissue are neurons. And the main function of a neuron is to transmit electrical messages. Really, your body is kind of like a battery. You have an electrical current running through it at all times because of these cells. So they're going to be kind of star-shaped cells, pretty large cells. The really dark dot in the center is going to be the nucleus of the cell. And you can see that it has all of these arms kind of hanging off of it. That's kind of important when you're looking at neurons. That's a really good way to tell if it's a neuron or not. All right, and then glial cells are your supporting cells of your nervous system. And as you can see, these are the cells that just surround the neuron. So you can see your neuron is the really large cell, and you can see the nucleus in the center. And then all of the little dark dots around it are the nuclei of your supporting cells, or your glial cells. So they are there just to nourish the neuron, protect the neuron, and really take good care of the neuron, provide it with everything that it needs. Okay, erythrocytes, commonly known as red blood cells. Now when you look at this picture here, you can see that there are macrophages with the red blood cells. The red blood cells are going to be your really circular, smaller cells. Okay, they actually kind of look red in this picture. And then all of those other cells are the macrophages we talked about, or your white blood cells. So the purpose of a erythrocyte is to carry oxygen and nutrients around your entire body. It's literally your body's transportation system. Things enter the bloodstream and travel on erythrocytes, and then they can get off. Okay, the oocyte, commonly known as the egg. Oocytes are easy to identify because they're super large. They're actually the largest cell in the female body. They're so large because they actually have multiple copies of organelles like mitochondria, so that when sperm meets egg, the oocyte can divide rapidly without having to make all of these copies of organelles. So the oocyte is only found in females. It is the female reproductive cell, commonly known as your egg, super large, super round, and it's a really interesting kind of cool cell. Okay, the male reproductive cell is commonly known as sperm. And as you can see, sperm just have little tiny tails. And then the head. The head is where the DNA is found. So we're going to go ahead and stop there for our 5-minute lesson. Thanks for watching, and you can watch this video as many times as you want. Please answer the questions now, referring back to this video. And thanks.